Hey guys, John from JohnMurrayHeadshots.com here. Happy whatever day it is. After 2 days being back in the studio with utter silence when I was shooting these videos, I just realised that today I have to work from home. I have a few bits and pieces going on, and the only things I can hear is people taking their bins out. I can hear the birds singing, which is nice. The birds are singing, that's fine. But people taking their bins out, banging their gates, I can hear people breathe. Stay in your office. Stay in the building. Don't work from home anymore. Um, it's great, but don't work any home. This is like the 9th time I've started this video as well. Anyway, I want to make my actual point. Yesterday, Stephen Murta, well, always Stephen Murta, the exhibition guy, shares these great points and great posts about looking after your customers, about building relationships. Like, we all know we should build relationships. And today, Claire Key shared a post celebrating almost 6 years in business with Tax Saver Bikes. Congratulations. And she used the word hustle. Yesterday, when in Stephen's post, I did make my point, and because I always make my point because I like the sound of my own voice. But he's talking about building relationships, constantly building relationships. Don't worry about the bottom line, because the bottom line will come. Look after your customers, the tills will look after themselves. And I referenced Delboy Trotter. I always reference Delboy Trotter when I'm talking about these things. And Claire put up the word hustle in her post. You know, having a bit of hustle. Having a bit of hustle is great. But it's not just having a bit of hustle. Hustle can have a negative connotation. Because if you look at Derek Trotter, sorry if you're in America and you don't know who Derek Trotter is, he was a character in a 1970s, 1980s, 1990s TV program in the UK. Delboy, and he was always hustling. You know, I heard this years ago, and it's this really, really great quote. I don't know who said it, but it always stuck with me. If you're surviving, you're not dreaming. And Derek Trotter grew up in a high-rise apartment block, flat block, that was owned by the council. They didn't have any money. He was literally hand to mouth. And if you're just hustling, and if you're just living hand to mouth, you know, you're trying to make money just for food, just to survive. He's always trying to be rich. He was always looking for the next scam, always looking for the next scheme. Well, then you're not building relationships. I say this all the time. It's exhausting. If every single day you have to go out there and you have to fight to get new clients, you have to fight to make sales, well, then it's exhausting. Psychologically, it's exhausting. Physically, it's exhausting, and it's not healthy. You don't need to do that. If you look after your customers, the tills will look after themselves. Like, if you build relationships with people, well, then they will deal with you and they'll work with you. You know, you don't have to be a sales guy when you go to work. You don't have to be that pushy sales guy. You don't have to be one of those charity sellers in the street who jump out in front of you full of energy and then try and get you to sign up to something. Because all of that rejection that goes with that is horrendous. It's exhausting. You don't need that. You don't need to be the door-to-door sales guy who's trying and trying and trying and trying. Unless that's what you do. If you build relationships with your customers, not only will they come back to you, you know, you build human relationships. I don't mean just business relationships, human relationships. Be friendly to them. Be friends with them. Ask them questions about themselves. Talk to them as humans. I have amazing conversations in the studio about everything. And if you do that, not only will they come back to you, but they'll evangelize over you. And they'll tell other people about you. Because if they believe in you, well, then everybody else will. This video's gone on longer than I thought it would, because I actually got to speak for 4.5 minutes without the neighbours banging their bins and knocking on their doors and driving cars and all the other noises that I didn't have in the studio for the last 2 days. And that's my whole point. So, yeah, that's it. Look after your customers, the tills look after themselves. That's it. Super.